Hey students, this is Dr. Shoup. I'm going to share with you how to do assignment 2.1 and 2.2. This information is coming from a spreadsheet called Expenditures by State, and this is the spreadsheet that you'll be using. If you'll notice, it has columns right here for each of the states, the sources from federal funding and the sources from state funding, how much comes from the state and how much comes from the local. If you look at Georgia, you'll see we get around $2 billion from the federal government, $7 billion from the state, and about $8 billion comes from local sources, all total. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those three figures and we're going to put them into a pie graph so that we can see the differences. And then we're going to do that for about 4 other states as well. So let me show you how we're going to do it. First of all, you'll need to open up your PowerPoint, and I've already created it. We're going to create a new slide here. So I'm going to create a new slide in here. Just call it I guess a title content. We'll call it Georgia. And then I'm going to create a graph. So I want to put a graph in. I want to do a pie graph. So I'm going to say OK. Now it's got the pie graph there, but the problem is it shows me something like this. I get another screen that comes up. It looks like this, and I'm going to only going to have 3 sources, so I'm actually going to reduce this, and I'm going to make the box a little bit smaller, and I'm going to put in the number. That's going to be we're going to put in the titles: Fed, State, and Local. And it's not going to be it's going to be revenues, not sales. All right, for the federal government, I'm going to go over here to this chart and I'm going to copy this for Georgia, that figure, and I'm going to stick it right here. And I'm going to do the same thing for the state, for Georgia. This is how the funding comes from the state, and then how much funding comes from the local would be right here. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm also going to paste that right here too. Now as I do this, you'll notice that this chart now has changed a little bit. Now it's 3 points in the pie graph, and I've got this blue shows you the federal, how much is the state, and how much is local. Notice that the 2 big pieces of the pie are state and local. Not very much money comes from the federal government to help support education in Georgia. A lot of it does, but it mostly goes to special education and things like that. So that's what you're going to do, and then you're going to do that for the other states that I've asked you to do, and then that will help you there. So we can get rid of that chart and look at the next thing. If you'll notice at the bottom, going back to the table of contents right up here, the next one is assignment 2.2, and I'm asking you to look at pure per pupil amount. So you'll go to letter 8, or at least number 8, and you'll look at Georgia, and you'll see how much they spend per pupil. So it's $9,253 per pupil. But I want you to compare it to some other states that I've given you, that I'm asking you to look at how much they spend as well. And then what I want you to do is find on your own, see if you can find some information about student data for those 5 states regarding achievement data. And I want you to answer the question, does funding impact student achievement? And I want you to write about a 1-page essay explaining that. I'll say no there, get rid of this. And that's this part right here. It says, see if you can find any comparison data concerning student achievement levels for these 5 states. In a 1-page essay, answer this question. Do you think funding impacts student achievement? Explain your reasoning. And then I want you to attach your bar graph and your essay to Dropbox 2.2. Well, I hope that helps.